jump on the 5 and head south to Los Angeles. Dodgers here. They won 7 consecutive NL West titles. I mean, they came up short in back-to-back years for the World Series. I mean, obviously they spent a ton of money and have not been able to win a World Series championship. And so what is the thinking here? There are 3 big free agents. Obviously, they have all the money in the world. Gerrit, Cole, Steven Strasburg, Anthony Rendon. Are they going to be in on any or all these guys?
Well, they're going to be in on them. The big question is, will they actually sign one of them? They've been in on a lot of big-time free agents, but basically with the new regime with Andrew Friedman, who just got an extension quietly without them announcing it, but he's got an extension, so he is set there, and deservedly so. They've won 5 division championships with him there, won the previous 2 with Ned Colletti. They've looked at these big-time free agents. We know they looked at Harper last year and were willing to go for 4 years at a record per-year contract, okay. $45 million or so per year, but ultimately they didn't sign him, and you know, they've looked at these guys before, and it's going to be interesting to see whether they actually step out, but they are in on Rendon, Cole, and Strasburg. I'm not saying they're going to go for all 3, but it'll be interesting to see if they do sign one of them. I think the third base situation is probably the most interesting because they have a great third baseman right now with Turner, who said he's willing to move to second, but they have a great second baseman in Lux, and they have a great first baseman in Muncy, too. They have a lot of great players, and they're in a great situation. So, I mean, there might be some pressure on them because they haven't actually closed the deal and won a World Series since 1988, but they've been great. I think the fans appreciate that, and they have a wealth of talent, and they're in a very good situation. So they don't have to do it, but certainly would enhance their situation if they were to get one of these 3 players.
Rich Hill's going to be 40 coming up in March, and the free agent left-hander has undergone primary revision surgery. Think basically an alternative to Tommy John surgery. It's going to allow Hill to come back in the middle of summer. They're pinpointing right now June, as opposed to missing the entire season. As I just mentioned, he turns 40 in March. Pitched the majority of 2019 with a partially torn UCL, signed a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Dodgers back in 2016. And here you see what he's done. I mean, John, when he pitches, he's very effective.
He's good. I mean, to do that with a partially torn UCLA, that's pretty impressive. He has an incredible curveball. He's a fantastic guy for a team. I hope he carries on his career for another 5 years. I mean, he's a guy who waited a long, long time to really cash in, and that was one of the great moments in baseball to see him when he got his big deal with the Dodgers, and he loves the game, so hope he keeps going.
Boy, if he's breaking off those breaking balls with a partially torn UCL ligament.
Oh, God.
That's pretty impressive. There's no doubt this guy can come back and help somebody out of the bullpen.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, as a GM, so if you're running a club and you know he's going to be available, he'll be 40, but he's going to be coming back in June, would you kick the tires on Rich Hill a little bit just to check out his
no doubt, especially because, Fran, by the time he gets healthy and back on a mound, you're only talking about 2.5 months of a season.
Right.
So it's not a tremendous risk. And he's got an equalizing pitch, a pitch that absolutely can dominate both right-handers and left-handers. And with the rule changes next year from a situational standpoint, he can attack both the lefty and a righty. So I do believe there'll be some interest in his service. If he's got to show that he's healthy, though.
Just real quick, explain the rule change that you're talking about.
You're going to have to stay in and face 3 guys. So you know, a lot of situational guys aren't going to be used in the same capacity they were used a year ago. You're going to have to show
shaking your head.
I love loogies. A very sad day for the loogies when that happens.
Yeah, I tell you what, that rule is going to get a lot more attention as we get closer and closer to the beginning of the year, no doubt.